we were gentlemen cadet. So we were told we were to pass out on 14th of December. We said, look boys, you've trained enough. There is a war on and we need cannon fodder. You know what is cannon fodder? Cannon fodder is what you have to feed to the cannons to keep them going. Alright? And for that you need blood. You need a fair amount of human lives. We said we need young men to lead the attack. 14th of November we were commissioned. As was just mentioned to you in my biodata that was flashed, my elder brother was a captain in the army, in the J&K Rifles, 11th Battalion, the J&K Rifles. He had been killed in the 65 war by a land mine. That means his body had gone into about 1,500 pieces. He was 23 years of age. 66, without telling my mom and dad, I had applied for the NDA. 67, I was in the NDA. Right? Despite all the crying, all the wailing, etc., etc., etc. But that's the way it is. I had no other choice and I had no option. And if you ask me what motivated me, you will laugh. Commando comics. 50 paise ka commando comics aata. You know, and we used to read those tales of glory of World War I, World War II. So anyway, we were passed out 1 month before the war was to start. We were given 10 days leave. We went and saw mom and dad, and then we got into the train. We got off at Siliguri, right? And it was then actually end November. And at the Siliguri railway station, all our boys were there with steel helmets, with bayonets fixed, gleaming bayonets, naked bayonets. Generally you sheath your bayonet, you see. But when a war is on, you take off your bayonets, right? So that you might use it any time to good effect. And they had brought us 10 machine carbines. And they were waiting with our steel helmets. The moment we got off, "Saab, jaldi karo, jaldi karo." तो बोले ये सामान वगैरह सामान आ जाएगा साहब, पलटन बांग्लादेश में है. By the way, a lot of Indian battalions were inside Bangladesh well before the main action had started. I can share that with you. And the first night of our service, we were inside Bangladesh. We did not know our men. Our men had never seen us. We were very keen to do very well and show everybody what we were made of. We went charging. A lot of time you suddenly found you were all alone. Right? And we took the maximum casualties. That is why this is called the Born to Battle batch. We took maximum casualties. On the very first night of our service, so many of us were killed. There are so many of my comrades who today have plastic hands, plastic legs. But they don't ask for help. You try and help that boy, he'll push you off. He will still push you off because he has that pride. We may have suffered and paid a very heavy price. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you with a great sense of pride that it was our generation which broke Pakistan into two. Alright? We broke Pakistan in two. 16 glorious days. There were 3 corps advancing from 3 sides. 2nd Corps led by General Raina from the Calcutta side. 4 Corps led by one of our legendary commanders, Lieutenant General Sagat Singh, 6 foot 2 inch tall Rajput from the Tripura side. And from the north side, General Gandharv Nagra. You see, and there was a 33 Corps from the Siliguri side. From 3 sides and the 4th side, we were closing in onto Dhaka. The Pakistani army. You see, no army can withstand the strength of an idea whose time has come. The Pakistani army was led then by one of their so-called finest generals, Lieutenant General Amir Akbar Abdullah Khan Niazi, Hilal-e-Jurrat, Sitara-e-Pakistan. That's quite a mouthful. Okay. So this man, he was under the impression, look, अरे ये हमारा एक पाकिस्तानी 10 हिंदुस्तानी के बराबर, ये क्या करेंगे, ये बढ़िए क्या करेंगे, you know, that is the term pejorative term that they use. And he said they will maximum try and grab a few kilometers of land, enclaves here, there, to try and push back the refugees. But they had not catered for another master general called General J.F.R. Jacob. You may have heard of this Jewish general. Shot, one of the most brilliant minds in South Asia. He was an expert on the Kushan period of history, and in his spare time, he was a bachelor. You could have seen this general in the Kolkata Museum, talking on the Kushan engravings and this and that. Brilliant man, brilliant man. He had planned to go for Dhaka. The military operations directorate in Delhi, where Sam was the boss, another very fiery chap who could tell the Prime Minister off. They had planned that the most critical portion of Bangladesh are the two ports of Khulna and Chittagong, because all supplies come from the west. So these are the criticalities. When you attack, when you fight a battle, you first define the center of gravity, which is the keystone. If that is pulled out, the whole structure will collapse. So which was the keystone in Bangladesh? The army headquarters felt it was Chittagong, and it was the port of Khulna. General Jacob had been born in Dhaka. He had cycled to college on the streets of Dhaka. Look at, destiny has a way of putting the right man at the right place. It is called, in Jungian psychology, synchronicity. How things synchronize, alright? Okay. So, he said, look, the keystone there is Dhaka. Bypass everything. Go like a torrent of water. Have you seen a torrent of water flowing? Have you seen when a dam bursts, what happens? If it hits a rock, it will not stop. It just goes around. And 10-15 years that rock won't exist. But it just keeps moving. So he said he started the torrent concept of attack. Actually, it's a German concept. It's called Blitzkrieg. Blitz means lightning. Krieg is warfare. Have you seen lightning? It doesn't go straight. It zigzags, and that's the way our armies went. And we were second lieutenants. We were at the cutting edge. We used to have in our pouches our pudi and alu in the left side, and on the right side we used to, of course, with the ammunition, have a small little transistor. And on that transistor we used to keep listening to Sam. And as our army started, we just bypassed all the resistance. Neazi gave orders that you will fight and die on the border. Till you take 80% casualties, you will not withdraw. We said, okay, hang. And we just went deep right into Bangladesh. This is called superior strategy. Superior strategy. You attack the mind of the enemy commander. Paralysis. You induce paralysis. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 14th of December 1971, we got a radio intercept that a meeting of the Pakistani High Command is taking place at Dhaka in the Circuit House. Alright? It's taking place in the Circuit House, and the Governor Adam Malik is going to be there. General Niazi and his top brass are going to be there. 4 big 21 aircraft of the Indian Air Force, laden with about 30 rockets each. The rocket is huge, big rockets, took off from Kolkata, near Kolkata. They went over Dhaka. They swooped low just when the meeting was in progress. And through the windows of that circuit house, there was that chandelier hall. Massive chandeliers, mahogany, brown table, everybody around, glasses clinking. And through the windows, they fired the rockets. Slammed 30 rockets, 4 into 30, you can just calculate. And these rockets smashed into that hall where that conference was taking place. The chandeliers, the chandelier like this, crashed onto that table, that black mahogany table. All the participants who were there ducked below the table, including Lieutenant General Amir Akbar Abdullah Khan Niazi, Hilal-e Jurrat, Sitara-e Pakistan, to be very absolutely correct, politically correct. He was under the table, and from below the table, Adam Malik, the governor, He put his hand out on a slip of paper and said, I resign. I have had enough. I resign. Alright? And the next one, the eyewitness account of this is given by Colonel Sadiq Salik. Colonel Sadiq Salik was the PRO with General Niazi. He says Niazi broke into tears. He sobbed like a child. Pindi mein baithe haramzadon ne mara diya. This was the state of mind of this man. 15th of December, General JFR Jacob takes a helicopter and his swagger stick. He doesn't even carry a pistol. He just lands up in Dhaka. They have sent them a signal, General Jacob is coming, send a vehicle for him. He takes that vehicle, drives straight to Niazi's headquarters, and he has got with him the surrender document. He said, General, this is the surrender document, sign it. I'm giving you half an hour to read it, and you will sign it. He is inside Dhaka, where there are 40,000 Pakistani soldiers. Our 3 columns are closing in on Dhaka. One has got about 2,000 people on the outskirts of Dhaka. One has got about another 4,000 people this side of the river. And here is General Jacob, without a single weapon on him. He marches into Niazi's headquarters, flings down this thing on his table. General, sign this surrender document. I'm giving you half an hour to read it. He said, but I wanted a ceasefire. He said, General, you will sign this surrender document. I'm waiting outside. Alright? I'm waiting outside and I give you 30 minutes. If you don't sign this, General, the air attacks will start again. You got a sample of that yesterday? They will start again and they will come for you. Number 1. Number 2, we are going to let the Mukti Bahini loose on you, your officers and your soldiers. And they have started berating your people for what you have done to their women. Right? They are looking for revenge. Your only hope of survival is you surrender to the Indian army, we'll take care of you. He started pacing outside. Half an hour he went in. Niazi had tears streaming down his eyes. He was looking down at those documents. He says, have you signed them? He had it. He just pulled it out. I take it as signed. Tomorrow, 1000 hours, you will be there for the surrender ceremony. Niazi was. 93,000 prisoners of war surrendered. 93,000 prisoners of war. We have personally seen them being put into goods trains like cattle. Like cattle shoved into good trains and being sent off to the prisoner of war camp. 16 days we had broken a nation state into 2. 16 days we had created a new nation state with a force of arms. And that was the first time after the Second World War that this kind of a thing was done. I said, I want you to tell them that Brigadier Bakshi, I was then a brigadier, was here और उसने आपके लिए पैगाम भेजा है, अबू मूसा, अबू गुलाम, अबू उबेर, तुम्हें जहां भागना है तुम भाग लो, फौज तुम्हारे पीछे आएगी, चाहे हमें 1 हफ्ता लगे, चाहे 1 महीना, चाहे 1 साल. आपने कुरान शरीफ की हुक्म मंजूरी करी है. The Quran Sharif says, in a jihad, spare the lives of the women, the children and the old men. It is written, it's an ayat in the Quran. He said, you have violated the Quran, we'll come for you, and when we, jab hum tumhe marenge, kutte ki maut marenge, jala ke marenge. This is the threat that I gave them. Within a week, we got the information where these people were. That Gujar of mine who used to give me all the information, he says, "Saab, haath mein khujli ho raha hai. Haath mein khujli ho raha hai, I want money. I have got good information." I said, "Tu khujli ujli band kar, wo kidhar hai?" He says, "Saab, तूने बहुत अच्छा किया जो धमकी दी. अपनी छाया से डर रहे."